And welcome back, folks. We got some more 70 Star Div 1 action for you with protoman5 versus benji64. I'm Electric, and I'm joined in the booth today by Hakase. How are you feeling before this match, my man?
I'm doing good, dude. How are you? All right, let's take a look at these league standings real quick. So, Protoman in 10th place, 3 losses, 1 win. And yeah, wait, where is he? I can't even find him on the
Yeah,
list.
Benji in 7th place, 2
There he
wins,
is.
2 losses. About 50 points of difference or so. So depending on how exactly this match goes, we could see one of these racers come up against the other in the leaderboard standings, or we could see one kind of assert their dominance and push themselves even further into the leaderboard. Now, interestingly, Benji choosing to play on the Japanese version, he might be one of those that doesn't own an English cart, or maybe just more comfortable with the Japanese version. The text scrolling is different, so you could lose that second or two that you would gain on English just to improper text scrolling. But we'll have to see what these guys pull out. I don't think we've really seen a race where the version has made a difference in who wins, but it's still a little interesting to talk about during the intro sequence here. But we're getting right underway here. Let's see how these guys fare with Lakitu skip. I've seen a lot of Lakitu skips in this season. I've seen a lot of the more, I can't say traditional or beginner, but the right side kick. We see Benji going for the kind of hardest form, Protoman with the long jump form popularized by Puncation. Both of them landing Lakitu skip handily. Doesn't matter what form they go for. These guys, they've run the game so many times that it's just in their DNA at this point to get that Lakitu skip. And we're now seeing them go into BOB for that bomb clip.
Yep. And like you said, there's a lot of points to be earned in this race. Both of these
Now,
players on the
Benji-
lower half.
Benji
Oh my gosh.
has the camera angle and he's going for bomb
Both
clip
these
now.
players.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh. Both these players choosing to do island hop first. I guess it's fine when
Protoman didn't
if
even
they
have
like
the right camera angle for it, so he must have changed his mind for some reason. Benji landing island hop.
Proto taking a bonk.
Protoman
Can you
doesn't
get the backup?
that
Does get the first seat. Oh my god!
hops.
2 island hops.
Oh man, this is gonna be a great race, folks.
Yeah.
It is rare for you to see 1 island hop in a run, but for 2 right in a row, this is gonna be something.
And not only that, both players to actually get it. Like, I've seen players opt to do island hop and like completely fall down.
Yeah, I mean,
it's actually insane.
It is a very risky trick. Even if you get that firstie, sometimes the movement just doesn't quite work out right for whatever reason. And that's some pretty major time loss to take at the very, very start, the first star of a race. But both of them now working their way through their one trip BOB, going to be heading on for a Wumps 9 or a Wumps 10 layout. Very rarely seen. Commentator not even knowing the numbers to give to this layout.
Proto actually opted to go to Wumps anyways, so not doing a slide first.
Yeah, it looks like Protoman's just doing a PB attempt right now or something. That's kind of strange. But Benji in the slide, y'all know what time it is. Pull out those guesses. I'm going to say with the confidence Benji has right now, he's either going to land a 12-6 or a 14-1.
I'll take that. I'll say 12-5. He's really feeling himself. All right, 12-6.
12-6, still feel himself. Still a very impressive slide time. Protoman gets a punch instead of a jump dive. I think he just put a little bit too early for some reason. But no matter, just going to go for Wild Blue as a backup.
And he didn't go through the trouble of setting up cannonless before missing it, so not too big of a time loss. Probably like
Benji,
4 to 5 seconds at most.
Yeah, it's not too substantial, but when you're already in a deficit against your opponent this early, it's not something you want to add to. But let's see if he's able to go ahead and shake off a little bit of those nerves or whatever else is affecting him and move on to a much better cannonless attempt this time around. Texture setup. Let's see how it goes. And it's good.
Benji opting for the full setup, but he's fine. He's got a little bit of time to play with.
Oh, yeah. Both of them sitting pretty at 4 stars. One of them a slide star while the other has a Wild Blue star. Let's see how the rest of their Wumps goes. Protoman likely heading in for Owlus now. Looks like Benji is doing the same. Kind of an interesting ramp movement there. Don't see many people do the jump dive and long jumps there. Yeah, but both of them getting Cannon or Owlus first try.
Yep. Now we'll see what route they opt for in hundreds. Seeing as how they went for Island Hop, I expect pro hundreds from both of them.
Yep. Oh,
All right,
okay. Protoman
not-
actually going a little bit more conservative with
Benji
this
going for the
standard
line of
full
5.
cycle setup, but Benji not backing down, going for the full pro setup. Commentator fusing words together.
Honestly, like
works.
there's not a good name for any of these routes. It's either like pro setup or full pro setup or something dumb like that.
Right.
Taking a fall though. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's really not good with his given deficit, especially with Benji nailing that pro cycle perfectly fine.
Did he get the... Okay, he must have gotten the red first on the first go around, so didn't lose too much time to falling off.
Misses the red on top of the thwomp though, an interesting one to miss as part of this cycle, considering how well the rest of it went. Well, Protoman not quite getting all the way over the ledge before his kick.
I've definitely done that several times. It's such an easy mistake to make.
Oh yeah, it's a little bit difficult to time that properly because you're always afraid that you're going to end up accidentally going too far past the edge and not hit the red on your way down.
Yeah, Protoman got some atrocious RNG on that box. He did the proper box break where you dive into the wall, because that's like the quickest way instead of Mario having to throw animation. But all those coins just went flying everywhere. 3 coins, 3 different directions. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's unfortunate how the RNG comes into play with the coin spawns. They can be pretty wild sometimes. You're not really expecting it a lot of the time. The drops tend to be a little bit soft, but occasionally the coins can just go flying like they're a firecracker. But now Protoman working his way up to the big womp on top of the fortress. Benji going to be joining him shortly, but don't get confused. Benji is ultimately in the lead with that slide star under his belt. Has to take that ledge grab instead of a kick, get up, but that's actually kind of a sign of a decent backup response. Knowing that he wasn't going to be able to get the kick, just not even going for the kick.
Protoman ending up very far away from the star. Not sure how he messed up the ground pound stand up there.
And Benji, meanwhile, just grabbing the star right when the cutscene ends.
Yep. Benji actually kind of a significant lead here. Both of them like doing their last star and womps, but Protoman has 2 slides to do, whereas Benji only has 1.
Protoman with the triple jump fortress. Benji unfortunately has to take these kicks up the slope. Lost all of his speed approach.
Yep.
He's able to get the actual top of the fortress triple jump pretty decently, not losing too much time to that.
Mm-hmm. Just on a cycle later, yeah.
Right. But now we're going to be moving on into the slides. We got both of them going into the slide at the same time. I haven't seen Protoman slide today, so I'm going to go ahead and say a 12-8. But Benji, I'm going to double down with another 12-6.
Yeah, I think at this point, he's really feeling himself. Dive rollouts, dustless as well, to enter the slide.
Those dive rollouts are just a hair faster, but if you're not too confident in them and you mess them up, you can actually end up incurring a pretty decent time loss. 12-8 from Benji, 12-9 from Proto.
Oh! Oh wait, okay, he's fine. I thought he grabbed a blue star. Whoops.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how you have to change your ending movement based on which star you're getting, as far as whether you want to roll out as soon as the star spawn ends, or if you want to go ahead and wait a little bit. But Protoman in the wing cap stage, Benji right behind.
Yep. I don't know how often Protoman runs this island hop route. I wonder if he's going to remember to go back to the slide after wing cap.
I'm certainly hoping so. I mean, it doesn't really matter since you spawn in the middle of the castle lobby either way, so it doesn't matter what star order you decide to do, but...
Well, if he goes into Dark World, he has to do different movement out of Dark World. That's why.
Correct. But he does seem to remember. It looked like he was going just a hair to the left at first, but his correction made it ensure that he didn't even lose like half a second.
Yep.
But a final slide from Protoman. I'm going to go ahead and say he'll redeem himself from that 12-9 with a 12-7.
Oh, that sounds reasonable. Yeah.
Benji,
He actually takes a really sharp angle on the slide.
Another 12-9 there. Interesting. At least he's consistent, though. Benji, in Dark World, he got the switch press first try. He's on his second red. Let's see if he can finish out the rest of this shake cycle cleanly.
Oh gosh.
Getting
oh
popped
no.
by the... That's a
Gonna take
death
a
right
death from
there.
that.
Oh,
no.
man. What an unfortunate Goomba position. I've had co-commentators that were deathly afraid of the Goombas, and I got to admit, I don't quite understand why. What happened to Benji has never happened to me, but I understand the fear now. Benji, you can tell he's a bit flustered from that. He missed the switch on that attempt.
He definitely was shaking his head. That was really unfortunate. The thing is, like, it only happens if you have a lot of speed. You can bonk on that Goomba and not die, but if you have any sort of speed, like the knockback from the hit is what kills you. It's crazy.
Yep. And Mario just can't move when he's in that state. And it's the cruelest thing out there. Whenever you're in that position, you know you're gonna die, and you just have to wait for it to happen.
Protoman making up a lot of time on this world.
Benji having to wait for an extra cycle, even with that poverty shig attempt. I almost called it a proto shig attempt, but I was like, wait a second.
Now these players very close, probably only like a few seconds. The Star's spawn animation is the difference.
And we see Benji going for this side flip setup, and I think Protoman may have gone for it as well. I didn't see whether he went for the first wall kick or not. That side flip wall kick setup is actually a bit faster unless you get double wall kicks with double firsties.
I see. It's just a single wall kick then, right? If you side flip?
Correct.
Okay.
And both of them getting that first try Bowser throw as expected in a place like Dark World.
Yep. Very close race from these two now.
Oh yeah.
All the mistakes that Protoman made up to this point kind of all mitigated by that one death in Dark World by Benji. Such a, like, I guess polarizing stage. It can either go really well or if you take a death, it's awful.
Yeah, I mean, the difficulty very distinctly ramps up for all the Bowser stages. They're all like these just ridiculous obstacle courses, and it's not surprising to see a death in them, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But we've got them both remembering that they did island hop, not even going for sky jump, heading right into the cool mountain.
I'm just going to go ahead and guess that both players are going to do double plus. It's probably a given at this point, seeing as what they've been doing so far.
Yeah, we've been seeing the double plus a lot more commonly in the Division 1 League this time around. I'm not super surprised ultimately, but it is still a tad shocking to see these runners go for such a risky trick twice. And Benji pulled out a interestingly safer strat for wall kicks will work. Went for a low wall kick so that even though he had to waste a couple of seconds with the quote-unquote backup movement, he made sure that he would hit the wall kick, not taking a death and losing any time. Now we see Protoman going for wall kicks will work. Gets a bonk on the edge of the platform, but doesn't quite take a death, fortunately.
Takes another bonk. Wall kick's not working out for Protoman.
Does happen to work this time around, thankfully. Benji's going to be going in likely for, his 100 coin. Benji just likes taking weird camera angles, apparently, because that is the exact camera angle you want for 100 coin. But in this case, wants to go for slide skip instead. So we're going to be seeing double CCM 18 routes. It's really strange to me to see 2 island hops and then 2 CCM 18s. I don't feel like that works out mathematically.
They might have, like, had like a gentleman's agreement to both go for island hop or something before it started. Very possible.
Could be. But now we're going to be seeing CCM 18 route. Now, we don't expect many mistakes, but should mistakes be made on that ending slide, there could be some significant time loss early on in this race. So here's hoping that doesn't happen.
I wonder if either player is going to opt for the new 100 coin. Benji didn't, but...
And Benji actually opting for a kind of interesting route for the safety ride. I haven't seen that too many times before, but works out for him. And same with Protoman, actually.
I think that's actually... Is it not the standard way to grab that safety road?
I've seen some people do like a jump dive from the bridge where the warp point is, but what they did is probably more optimal. It just might be a little bit newer.
I think
I do have to admit my bias. I personally go for that like jump to the bridge, then do a jump dive movement, so I should probably update my movement, but that's neither here nor there. Got them both on very nice coin counts, though. Benji gets to skip his last couple. Meanwhile, Protoman on the same coin count. So no issues with the CCM 18, fortunately. You really hate to see people lose a minute to this star, but can happen on occasion. But with that, we'll not have to deal with double pillarless.
Yep, and no penguin shenanigans, like getting pushed off the edge, or pushed close to the edge, like Guy and I.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta say, like you were bringing up earlier, that new movement that his name is escaping me right now. I don't know why. Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. I remembered it started with an S, but he's the one that seems to have kind of pioneered that blue coin movement, and I really, really like that movement since it kind of eliminates the penguin from messing with you as he takes his rubber banding tactics.
Right. Alright, both players in BBH. 2 quick stars. I don't know. I guess it really doesn't matter since the stars are pretty far apart from each other, but like opting to do the library books one first, it's not usually what I see.
Yeah, it seems to just depend on the runner themselves. Protoman taking a little bit of a bonk as he approaches that door to the bookcase room for Big Boo's balcony. It's interesting how there's a bookcase room for both stars, but in the speedrun route, you don't use the bookcase room for the bookcase star.
Yep.
But you get to see a bookcase for Boo, so I guess it works out. You get to see a net total of 1 bookcase. A nice boot dispatch from Protoman, and Benji is matching as Proto goes in for his Secret of the Haunted Books. Let's see what strat he uses. Benji used a somewhat interesting side flip. Protoman going to be using exactly the same. I think that technically that's more of an intermediate strat, but it's easier to do optimally than the speed side flip that you see some people go for.
Yeah, definitely.
It sets you up a lot better for the door entry. It might not be quite as fast as the other one at getting you up to the second level, but the door entry is much faster due to your angle. So if you're not optimal with your speed side flip angle, you're definitely better off doing that strat. Oh gosh. Benji not getting a dive, though. And so he's going to have to grab Mips right in front of the SSL painting. Going to make absolutely sure that he's going to be able to get this grab in the safety zone here.
Protoman also slightly messing up the movement. He didn't get his rollout, so he thought ahead of time and pushed Mips towards the side.
And he got the Mips grab in, I think, a little bit more of an optimal position. Not quite sure. I mean, he didn't have to wait on Mips to enter that safe zone.
Yeah.
But
what is this camera?
Like the Mips failing, right? I was about to say, like, never seen that close on view, but Benji does manage to get his first plus as Protoman gets blown up in his face. Gonna have to go for Talon or Shiny Top as a backup.
Definitely had a view of the gunpowder inside the bomb.
Yeah, I think that's what Benji was trying to show us.
Yep.
You know, Protoman a little bit risky with how he slid on that ledge of the pyramid, but
it was a good backup though. That Talon backup is way harder than it looks. You can like die a lot of different ways there. If you just slide off at the wrong angle, if Mario ends up sliding on his stomach, a lot of things can go wrong.
Yeah, and depending on exactly how you fail pillarless, the backup can either be really, really tight, or in some cases you have to wait around at the top of the pyramid for a while. It's honestly kind of an awkward backup despite being faster. Protoman gets his plus the second time around, though.
Yep.
Kind of has a little bit of an issue clipping into the pyramid, but that's okay. Commentator getting a little ahead of himself, thinking of the next stage already, as Benji is going to be entering it.
I think with that backup Talon that he did, it was only like maybe 2 seconds loss, so not bad overall. All right, heading into Lethal Lava Land, starting out with reds. Easy star.
Yep. It takes a little bit of practice to understand how the coin hitboxes work and do those proper turns where you're still hitting the coins during the turns, but ultimately, Benji showing us that it is easier said and done.
Although this movement to get over to the reds, it's a little interesting. I haven't fully figured it out how that works.
Yeah, the dive movement especially is a little bit weird to figure out, but the long jump movement, to me at least, makes a good amount of sense. It's pretty much just each jump you're rotating the stick 45 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Commentator forgetting his geometry teachings in high school, having to think about how angles work for a moment.
All right,
Protoman.
Speed kick conserves all that speed. Very nice. And still
Very,
clips it
very
fast.
nice
I've seen a lot of players opting to not clip now, especially when they have a lot of speed. I think
We got Benji heading back into the volcano.
Yep. Doing his lava boost now.
Long jump boost, opting to play it a little bit safe. I can totally respect that. And it's paying off for him. Nice ending, nice star grab. Everything about that was just nice, as Protoman also gets a very nice side flip dispatch on that big bully. But ends up ledge grabbing on the stair. He needs to make sure that he doesn't fall through another stair. Gonna have to go for kind of an awkward jump setup here, losing a few seconds.
Yeah, that's like the super beginner triple jump to get up there. Yep.
Benji also has some nice flying.
Yeah.
It's weird calling that star red hot log rolling, because none of that has anything to do with the star itself. You're not having to navigate that weird grate platform through some fire. You're not having to roll on the log. It's just you fly over and you're done.
Yep. Don't even need to fly over in 16 star. Just triple jump wall kick.
Yep.
Oh gosh.
It's always amazed me that that's actually slower.
The triple jump wall kick? Yeah.
Right. Like, it feels like it shouldn't be, but it is. And so it's always weirded me out. Protoman also getting a bit weirded out by the bullies. Maybe the bullies telling him about their interest in Super Mario Sunshine speedrunning. Who knows? But either way, Protoman does get the bully dispatches at the end. And he's heading into the volcano for his first time, as Benji's going to be taking care of his own bully killing.
Alright, lava boost, same setup as Benji. Gets up there just fine, a little bit further behind, but that's okay. As long as you don't fall back down off that platform.
Benji actually has a bit worse of a triple bully. Doesn't get pushed off by the first two, but that last little straggler bully ends up pushing him off, wasting a little bit of time. You could see the kind of defeat on his face there, which, I mean, thinking of how this run has gone so far, I wouldn't think that he really has the reason to feel that way. Protoman gets a very, very weird entrance to this second volcano star, but that'll be okay. Just got 1/4 of health left, but should he execute this right, it's totally okay. And thank you so much, Cryptic80, for the tier 1 sub for 3 months. And the very wholesome sub message, good luck, Benji and Proto, isn't going to be picking a favorite here. Wants both these runners to have a good run. That's respectable. Can we have some GSA fires in the chat for respect?
Yep, both these players playing at an extremely high level. Always want to see good play come out from these guys.
Oh yeah, and especially from a guy like Protoman, who moved up from Division 2, and he's really been showing his stuff and demonstrating that he deserves this D1 spot.
Mm-hmm.
You got Benji with some really, really clean chests. Proto, as a call-in response, going to be going for it right after. And now Benji going to be going for the submarine star. You know, based on how Benji has played so far, I'm not entirely sure what he'll go for. My bet would be on rear sub, but based on how he's heading into the tunnel, that could actually be a front sub setup. He's just about at the middle. He's messing with us at this point.
Yeah. These camera changes. All right,
looks like a rear sub. The camera seems to be sticking here. Benji seems to be done with his playtime antics.
That was a little bit unfortunate. Like, if you just barely clip any of those walls, like Mario like resets to be flat again, and he has to change his angle.
Now,
and also swimming under the fin.
Yeah, I think he just didn't like his approach. I think he wasn't confident in getting the jump to land on top of the fin and enable him to do a side flip, but it did waste a couple of seconds. Let's see if Protoman can capitalize. And you're absolutely right. Sometimes you can even, like, even though the water surface isn't technically a wall, sometimes you can lose all of your speed to that too if you're not quite angled far enough horizontally. It's the swimming is an art in this game, and despite how few stars actually utilize it, you need to practice it a lot if you want to get these really optimal times.
Right, right. All right, but that's it for DDD with Benji. Did not get manted. Always a good thing to see.
Yeah, the first 5 manta rings are pretty nice, but after that, the hitboxes start to get very, very strange, which we might see on Protoman's screen, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Although he is able to go ahead and get the next 5. Really, really nice. Once you get past that last ring that he uses as 5th, the hitboxes just start becoming basically sideways. It's very bad.
Yeah, you got to make sure to swim right through the center, or else you're not going to hit the hitbox.
And we got Benji on very nice lava boost pace in Fire Sea. He's got himself that triple jump wall kicks. And the attempt.
Yep. Oh, actually, cleared it by a lot.
Yeah, with that new movement, you have a decent amount of leeway to actually make it. I've seen people land like effectively twice as far into the platform as he just did. And you got Protoman also going for lava boost. His movement so far does look good.
Oh gosh,
Benji long jumps past the star.
Very unfortunate. Protoman though, getting his lava boost, cut it a lot closer than Benji, but all that matters is that you make the cycle.
Yep. Not too important where on the platform you hit, as long as you hit. Let's see if Protoman can manage to long jump into the star.
Well, I mean, what you're going for there is a ground pound, right? But you just accidentally long jump most of the time. Or not most of the time, but if it happens, it's because you were trying to ground pound the star.
Yeah. And it's a little bit weird how, like...
Too soon.
Oh, yeah. Benji getting right on top of the bomb to the point that he just needed to turn Bowser rather than throw him, but fortunately not quite making it. And Protoman going for this interesting lava dive setup. Not sure exactly what that accomplishes. I guess a bit of swag, which, I mean, I can see. It's kind of swaggy.
You got the downtime. Might as well make use of it.
But one thing I've noticed, it's kind of the opposite of what happened to Benji, but in some cases when you're going for a long jump, it's like you hit Z then A too fast, and the game interprets you as hitting them together. And so it just like it. Long jumps and ground pounds shouldn't be on the same buttons. It's just a little bit finicky sometimes.
Yeah, I think J-Mill on comms earlier was saying that you need to be moving for 4 frames or so for it to be a long jump. Otherwise, you get a ground pound out. I don't know how that works with any like previous momentum that Mario has, but it's an interesting thing to know a little bit more about.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting bits of Mario's movement. Benji, unfortunately, not able to take advantage of one of the most interesting, in my opinion, the double-double.
Protoman getting a triple jump wall kick, though. Very nice.
Yeah, that awning wall kick is very finicky. Requires a lot of very precise stick movement during your triple. And when I say something like during your triple, I mean like during all the jumps leading up to the 3rd jump, not just on the 3rd.
Yeah, you've got to set up properly on the platform, get the quick turn, I guess, at the right angle, and then actually move the stick while you're doing the triple jump as well. It's not just holding the angle. Yeah.
Just like a lot of parts of the 100 coin, which Benji is nailing right now.
Oh my
Lost
gosh.
his safety coin earlier on, but Chucky RNG is not anything to be afraid of in his run. Protoman gets bought by the spider.
Yeah, first box that he broke, missed a coin, had bad RNG on the last box that he hit. It's not going great for him here.
It's unfortunate when you see a 100 coin go like this, but it does tend to happen. I mean, this is ultimately one of the most RNG heavy stars.
Yeah, and 70 star for sure.
And getting amped to boot right as he was about to do his side flip up to this 4th secret. Benji goes for that double jump kick. Very, very clean. Saw it kind of popularized in the league by draws, and now a few imitators.
Yep. It looks like he was trying to do the triple jump wall kick after that, could not get the angle, so just play the safe, went around.
Kind of interesting, given that the exact same thing happened to draws earlier today. So now we got Protoman finishing up his 100 coin. As Benji is going to be going back in for one of his other quick stars. Right, stars like SL 100 and THI 100 have a ton of RNG, but of course we don't see those in 70 star.
Yeah, even BOB 100 as well.
Oh man, that one's just insane. I kind of hate watching BOB in 120 runs because I feel like I'm a bad luck charm, and I just don't want to see people fail in 100 coin.
Oh my gosh, yeah, 100 coin is so rough. And it's like in that sweet spot of the run where you're like, I don't really want to still reset, but it's just, yeah. It's a rough start.
We've got Benji finishing up shocking arrow lifts, Protoman finishing up THI, or what am I saying? Wet Dry World. I'm sorry, Wet Dry World, for insulting you in this way. You don't deserve that. Wet Dry World is one of my favorite stages. He doesn't deserve that insult.
All right, Benji heading into THI for that secret star.
Let's see how his movement goes. This is really the most technical star in this stage.
Wow, very interesting movement, actually. Those single jump kicks, that doesn't seem all too fast, but he still did the lag reduction with it.
Yeah, it slowed him down a little bit, but nowhere near as much as like missing that third secret, for instance. So,
right.
We got Protoman not really bothering with the lag reduction.
Does not even go for the dive. Probably knew that he didn't have enough to clear that ledge. You can like glitchy bonk on it really easily. So, good on him to react to that. Oh gosh, Benji!
How? What just happened?
He tried to clip through the mountain, but I guess he got pushed by the Chuckia, or the Chuckia did something to him, it looked like, and he fell through.
And he's just standing there. What in the world is going on right now?
Looking at his cam, did he drop his controller or something?
I'm not sure at all what's going on here. Okay, he's got his controller back in hand, recontrolling Mario, but with that extended
he definitely lost the lead.
Right.
Unusual.
That is, oh man, that's unfortunate. But I mean, he still could have had, if not the lead, he still could have been a lot closer had he just regained control.
Oh my god! Please.
The ledge grind here.
Oh my god, 50-50 grind.
We're seeing that THPS2 gameplay.
At least he tried to laugh it off. That's good. Good race mentality from Benji.
Oh yeah, a huge thing in this game is mentality. I mean, you have to be able to recover from just any sort of bad mentality.
Whether it's in the game or outside of it. Still don't know what happened there, but... Protoman punching the air next to the Toad.
Yeah, kind of showing to the Toad what'll happen if he doesn't give him a power star. The Toad just manifesting one out of thin air due to pure fear of Mario's retaliation. Now, Protoman in TTM, one of the hardest stages in upstairs. Let's see how he's able to maintain his lead here, or if he happens to make some mistakes that could lose it. Ends up getting a firstie off the log wall kick.
Yep.
And 2 wall kicks for Waterfall Star, but it does still end up being good. Very, very nice.
That wall kick strat for the waterfall, it's pretty finicky. You have to have like, if you go too fast, you ledge grab. If you go too slow, then your second wall kick might not work. But there's like a sweet spot in there to ledge grab.
And these beautiful synchronized mountain clips, despite the difference in camera angle. Yep. Benji having a slightly more optimal clip, but of course does still have that 1-star deficit.
Going for his waterfall star. Gets it very nicely.
Virtually identical to Protoman's performance with those 2 wall kicks instead of the wall kick ledge grab. Poor Toad. Okay, you say poor Toad, but Toad somehow hoarded 3 separate power stars. He's got to be doing somewhat well for himself, considering Bowser found every other one. You know, I almost think that Toad's playing both sides.
I guess it would be the same in Odyssey.
You're playing both sides.
Was it Captain Toad Treasure Tracker? I guess he's doing the same thing in Odyssey.
Yeah, this is Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker 20 years beforehand.
Tells you how far ahead into the future Nintendo things.
And you got Benji.
Right, that's Protoman. Okay, doesn't even go for the wall kick. Honestly, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, his movement was still
nice...
really clean, and that's really what matters on this star.
Yeah, nice comfy reds.
And we'll have Benji going for the reds himself. Ooh, the speed kick movement here. He's pulling out some pretty optimal strats.
Yep, might be feeling himself again.
Let's see, oh, doesn't get the side flip here. I've seen a lot of people recently have problems with side flips. Not quite sure what's in the air, but something isn't quite working right for a lot of runners right now.
And when he missed that side flip to get to the top platform, I think it's actually, I don't know the timing on it, but I prefer to do a single wall kick and roll out on that last red. It just seems a little cleaner than backing it up with another side flip, because you have to have Mario turn around and stuff for it. I didn't see what Star Protoman went for, but he got whatever it was pretty cleanly, I guess. Snowman's head from him now. Oh, not even opting for the pro movement.
Yeah. That movement can be a little bit finicky, and the way that he got on top of that platform, I don't quite blame him for not going for it. I had kind of an awkward side flip that first time, but Benji does get the sliding movement.
Definitely saving time over Protoman's Snowman's head. But Protoman's still up a star.
He's really holding on nicely to his lead right now.
And honestly, both players have been playing pretty consistent throughout this race. So he could hold this lead well into Tippy.
Oh yeah. Tippy may be the great equalizer, but if Protoman keeps playing like this, Benji will definitely have a run for his money. And Protoman sliding over the hill and jumping far away for that 1 star. And he's just got to chill with a bully, and he'll be well on his way. Benji also pulling off the star nice and clean, and he gets the ground pound. That ground pound is pretty difficult to get. You have to have a really nice angle on your jump and also ground pound basically blind.
Yep.
So, really nice for Benji. And now Protoman going to be exiting course and making his basement revisit. Benji still has to chill with this bully. You gotta wonder what exactly this would look like in real life. I mean, a lot of bullies, you know, there's some sort of emotional thing that makes them lash out at other people. But what would it really be like to just chill with someone that wants to antagonize you?
Well, Mario's not showing much chill there, pushing him off into the lava.
Yeah, I mean, that's the opposite of chill. That's just saying, hey, I mean, Mario doesn't even have the chance to listen to that bully's insults. He's just assuming that he's a bully at this point and just plunging him to his death. Don't quite understand. But what Protoman does now understand is how to grab Mips accurately, and he's going to be moving right on along to Toad. Let's see if Benji also gets a first try Mips grab to kind of compensate for that first try miss. And he does. Very nice.
Yep. So I'm guessing these players have got like 25 seconds apart or so.
Yeah, it's a bit of a lead that Protoman stacked up for himself, but nothing that Tippy can't end up erasing.
Yeah. Alright, box triple jump. No? Protoman just stopping to get the emergency exit star.
Yeah, that right side emergency exit can be a little bit faster than the left side, but it does require a lot more precision. We even see a decent number of runners in Div 1 just going ahead and going for the left side. Ain't steel, yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. I think that's exactly how Mario acts here.
Alright, both players nailing the box triple jump pretty cleanly.
Yeah, that triple can be kind of difficult, especially considering that if you're holding A when Mario makes contact with that grate, you will grab on the grate, cancel the jump, everything just gets ruined. And of course, the stick angles, we talk about them a whole lot, but in that case in particular, they're fairly precise to manage to get that jump and also not hit the death plane that extends through that void.
Alright,
Benji
and from both players, looking clean. The triple jump looked very nice from both. Yep,
both of them getting the switch press. Nice.
No, the difference is just about 1 star. Benji hasn't missed any stars yet. Or neither player has.
Now we got Benji going for Rolling Rock, Protoman as well. Let's see how their RNG stacks up. Benji gets really nice boulders, none of them deciding to troll. And so does Protoman.
Proto maintaining his lead very nicely. Benji has amazing emergency exit left.
And Proto's going to be moving right on along to Tippy. Let's see if he can maintain this lead through Tippy. Any death in Tippy could bring this race way closer together.
Oh, Benji, no, Benji!
Oh, is he? Oh, not quite able to recover, though. Taking the extended rage pause. That 5 seconds.
That was
at
too long of a rage pause, honestly, for this late in the race. He still can make this comeback, so that was very unfortunate to see. But yeah, that Scuttlebug really got him.
Now we got Protoman in Rainbow Ride. This first star, absolutely crucial. Let's see what he decides to go for. The side flip looks like a good angle. Good position on the platform. Gets the wall kick. The bounce is good. Gets his jumps on the wooden platform. Yep. He's on the pole now. It's pretty free sailing from here on out, but don't be fooled. The rest of the star can still cause issues. The double jump kick is good, and he's done with it. Okay. Protoman has the hardest Rainbow Ride star under his belt now. But of course, there's a clock just ticking away, waiting for him to come on by.
Not to say the other stars are easy either. Like, if he chooses to go for like tricky triangles, throw movement, that's pretty rough as well.
Or even swinging in the breeze can be kind of finicky sometimes. I mean, the side flip that you have to do on that axis of the platform, and there's a bunch of other stuff that can go wrong in this stage. But like that, for instance, you barely have room to side flip on the platform. Protoman not quite making that room. The rest of his red seems pretty decent.
Benji got the triple jump wall kick for triangles. Weird that he opted for those star first.
Yeah, you typically see this one as a backup for Lakitu bounce, although Reds is a much more common first backup, so I guess I can understand going for that first. Let's see what Benji goes for now.
There's
Lakitu bounce, side flip, looks pretty decent. The bounce is good, he's got the wooden platform slide, quick grab on the pole.
Yeah, looking a lot bigger than Protoman's.
Yeah, nice kick there. And he's got that first try as well. Very, very nice. It's what you expect in D1, but whenever people fail that star, it can quickly devolve into just a Mario meltdown.
Yeah, for sure. Seen that already a few times today.
So now we got Protoman swinging in some breeze, and Benji joining him.
Benji leaving Reds for last. Oh no, but swinging in the breeze, these are the issues. But You're just a little bit off on your timing there. Oh, and he rolls out. No.
Oh man.
Oh, that's
Mario
really
unfortunately
unfortunate.
can't ledge grab during a rollout, and so Benji having to
Yeah.
take this extended backup movement. I've heard there's actually a backup involving a triple jump from that box that you can see on Benji's screen at the bottom, but it's
Oh
a
yeah.
very, very difficult backup.
It is very precise to do that.
Goes for
Like,
that flame shooter backup though.
You have to get max height off of that box to even wall kick, to be able to wall kick on the bottom ledge. So yeah, it's very difficult.
Now we got Protoman going for reds first, it looks like, in TTC. Kind of an interesting choice of star order, but not one that we haven't seen before. Now going back in on time moving. Time moving triple jump. And it's good. Let's see what he goes for first here, pendulum or roll. Got a pendulum star incoming.
Alright, doesn't get hit by the pendulum. Good cycle, I guess.
And with that 2-star advantage, Benji is now going to be entering TTC himself.
Did Proto grab Toad or no?
He didn't.
Okay.
We got Benji on time stop. Let's see what he goes for first here as Protoman goes for another time moving triple. And it's good. Benji going for TTC 100, the big behemoth of all the 100 coin stars in this game.
No safety red either.
I mean, most times you won't need the safety red, but when you do, it really hurts. That backup box is both awkward to go for and wastes a ton of time.
Right. I honestly think it's just worth to grab the safety red every time.
Same here. It doesn't lose more than, I think, like 2 seconds. Benji falls off this platform here instead of getting a side flip, but manages to recover pretty quickly. It's
like,
a
you never want to be on
double jump, but not quite enough height from the double.
Yeah, you never want to be on a perfect coin count. Especially with the RNG this game throws at you. Oh my god, 4 wall kicks!
The reaction there. I honestly think that his third wall kick there was just him trying to ledge grab fast, and it just happened to process as a wall kick.
Guess a triple jump dive. That's always a nice time save there. Now so it looks like Protoman's probably going to do his 100 coin last, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's what it appears, since he's got 2 time stars, or 2 time stop stars already under his belt.
Yeah, all he's got left is reds and 100. So.
Or stomping 100.
Well, oh, sorry, yeah.
It's a bit weird, because like, a lot of stages do integrate reds with 100, but in this case, you integrate the top of the clock star with the 100 coin that you inevitably get at the top.
Yep. Oh no, Benji missing his triple jump wall kick.
And now he has to go with this pretty awkward backup movement here. Even though this strat is, in my opinion, a little... Oh no, that's a death.
I honestly, I've never seen that movement before. I think he was just sort of using some homemade movement there. Because, like, the strat is exactly the same as time stop. When you miss the triple jump wall kick.
Now, we got Protoman. He ended up missing that triple jump wall kick on the very edge of that cage the first try, but was able to back that up very, very cleanly.
Yep.
And he did grab that safety red, but these boxes aren't causing much of an issue right now.
Okay. Oh!
Oh! Okay. He's at about the
He's okay. So. I guess he saw the coin and reacted to it, even though he had the extra. He could have just kept going. But at least he does not take the death.
Yeah, exactly. That's really the big takeaway here.
Okay, not opting.
He probably lost about 30 seconds or so, but he could have lost a minute plus.
Yeah. He could have done the solo stomp on flop movement, but I guess he might not be used to that.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that runners of this level would really be used to that movement. I mean, they're not expecting to take a death in this stage, so.
Right.
And with that, Protoman is at 69 stars, a very nice number that will get him to talk to Toad and then head over to the final Bowser stage.
Yep, Benji got 2 more stars to finish up here. So all we have left is bits, but it's not a free stage. There's still stuff that can go wrong there.
Not at all, especially when we get up to those wood blocks. We've seen a ton of runners lose a ton of time, even taking deaths in bits to that one jump. Benji getting a hand very nicely. Honestly, that's my favorite star in TTC. I can't even imagine doing that star without the time moving triple jump wall kick. Like that movement just flows so well together.
Yeah, for sure.
Now we got Protoman taking a kind of awkward ledge grab, but he seems to recover pretty nicely. It can be going for a bit safer of a triple jump dive. He's going to be kind of a weird elevator cycle, but he's able to adjust very, very readily. It's not too far off what he's used to.
Yeah. Honestly, a lot of bits is like pretty straightforward movement. When you get to this triple jump wall kick, though, the scary part.
Yeah, he's doing the standing left side. Works first try, though.
Yeah. These ending elevators can also be a little bit finicky.
Yeah, I feel like they're especially scary with guys like Draws that end up doing this really convoluted triple jump movement. But
yeah, sometimes it does the triple jump off the like one of the sidebars as well. It's crazy.
Right.
Benji did not get the triple jump, so the dive caused him to bonk on the stair. A little bit of a rage pause. But still in the money, getting some points out of this
And
race.
we got Protoman getting bullied around by Bowser. He's at a quarter health left.
Oh my gosh.
Got to be
Bowser
really careful with how he grabs the Koopa King now.
Breathing some fire, which causes lag as well.
Yeah, he's not even really opting for these side flip grabs, because if he messes up one of them, that's an instant death, and that could easily put Benji back in this race.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see here.
But
He's got two throws, though.
Oh my gosh.
He just needs one more. Not getting to grab the first try. A little bit of a Monka-S, but does manage to get it this time, and
gets it.
Very, very nice.
Well done, Protoman. Honestly, really played extremely solid throughout this race. No major screw-ups, and like when he got a lead, he held on to it pretty solidly.
Oh yeah. Very, very nice performance. A 51-27. A couple of bobbles here and there, but ultimately a really, really nice solid run. Benji also pulling off a pretty decent run.
Yep.
Just a couple of mishaps here and there.
Some points.
I can't help but think, though, I mean, Benji could be walking away with 1 or 2 more points had he not taken that extended stop after THI death.
Yeah. Actually, he's raged a little bit, quite a bit. Probably like 15 to 20 seconds in total, it feels like.
I feel like that was the most substantial, though. And of course, more rage here as Bowser just goes right between those 2 bombs. The extended hitbox is not reaching quite that far. But he does manage to get his hit this time around. And now one more seals the deal. GG's to Benji.
GG's to both runners, yeah. Honestly, really good race times for this game.
Oh yeah, and especially considering a couple of the little mistakes that happen here and there. I mean, this is nothing to frown at. Yeah. 52-33. I mean, Benji did have some really unfortunate mistakes that kind of extended that time a little bit more, but still a very, very nice, solid race time.
Yeah, Protoman probably moving up a few spots after this race.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, he was pretty close in points to the people in front of him, so I'd be definitely shocked if he didn't move up at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, that will be it for this race. Don't go anywhere, folks. We've got another really, really hot matchup coming up for you. These 2 unknown players, Counterlogic Gaming's Cheese and Ouija, facing off in 70 Star. You know, I've never heard of either of these guys, but I think they're decent at the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So don't go anywhere, folks. Don't miss this. It'll be a pretty awesome matchup. I'll be real with you. I mean, I'm a commentator. I have to be unbiased, but in this case, I really don't know who is going to be the victor here. If Ouija is on a hot streak, he could very easily put off a very solid run. So yeah, we'll just have to see what'll happen ultimately.
Yeah, just recently he got, you know, that 47, that sweet 47, doing PB attempts. So he's hot in 70 Star right now.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see what exactly comes of that matchup, but Until then, we'll be signing off for a very brief intermission. I'm Electric, here with me, Hakase in the booth. It's been a great time, man. Thanks so much for coming in.
It's always fun to commentate with you.
Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back with some more 70 star action. Peace out, and we'll see you